Hi, I'm Jeff Gonzalez, president of Trident Concepts, and today I'm here with Brownells Daily Defense to talk to you about situational awareness. So what is situational awareness? Well, in the grand scheme, it means paying attention to your surroundings. But really, why is it important to you? Well, if you can pay attention to what's happening around you, you have a good chance of seeing potential pre-incident indicators. And those pre-incident indicators can give you a lot of information, potentially helping you to make a choice about avoidance, which is key. Because if we can utilize avoidance to back off a little bit before the event actually occurs, we're going to be a lot better off. So if we can detect something that allows us to avoid something, that allows us to prevent potentially having to defend against it. So how do we go about doing this? Well, there's a lot of ways, and one of the simplest ways is to utilize a color code created by the late Colonel Jeff Cooper. The color codes are a phased approach towards your activity level, what you're going to be doing, but it's tied to your awareness of what's happening around you. So for instance, condition white. Condition white is typically referenced as not being aware of what's happening around you. Think of it as being kind of like in a very less attentive condition. Now there are certain times and places where that's a totally reasonable kind of condition to be in, but they have to be dependent on your location and the situation that's happening around you. As we move from that color, we'll move up to yellow. Now yellow is what we reference as relaxed alert. So you're just paying attention casually to what's happening around you. And as you are paying attention, you might pick up on these subtle clues that are indicative of potentially something bad happening in the future. As we are in yellow, we might all of a sudden pick up on something that allows us to elevate to condition orange. And in condition orange, we're now paying attention to that, whatever that indicator was. It could be something that was maybe not too serious at first, but as it starts to escalate, I pay more attention to it. Then as I pay more attention to it, I realize that that's potentially something I need to take action towards, and that leads us to red. Red is about action. It's about doing something. You could be actively trying to separate yourself from the situation. You could be actively trying to defend yourself against the situation. But that's the key, is that it's kind of like a line in the sand that you draw. I will do this if they do that. This all leads us up to some planning. What am I going to do for these types of situations that are maybe your common everyday type situation? What if you're approached by a stranger out in public? What if you have to get into an elevator with a stranger? What if you're at a stoplight and somebody approaches you from a blind side? These are some of the scenarios that happen a lot more often than people think. And what we're trying to do is prevent them from escalating to a situation where I have to defend against. But I also need to be paying attention so I can spot them early on and do something. So what are some things that I can do? Well, in today's day and age, we have kind of forgotten what it's like to interact with other humans, to have a conversation, to engage with other people. We rely so heavily on our mobile devices that we've kind of forgotten how to actually talk. So one of the things that I recommend is develop a default tape loop that you can just use. You can literally blurt out to help try to create a little bit of time and space. And that can be anything from, I'm sorry I can't help you, to stop, to leave me alone. Whatever you feel you can use to cover a wide array of different types of situations. Rehearse this tape loop. Use different types of intonation in your voice to kind of reflect what's happening with you, with what's going on in the situation. After that, we talk about our hand positions. I'm not necessarily talking about your hand positions, but whoever is encroaching on you, where are their hands? The most important thing that you realize is that it's really the hands that can hurt you. What are they doing with their hands? Can you even see their hands? If their hands are obscured, that's kind of a bad situation there that you want to be paying real close attention to. If their hands are visible, what are they doing with their hands? Are they at their side? Are they up? Are they combative? These are the types of things that we want to start to pick up on. That'll ultimately lead us to an emergency plan. An emergency plan is, what am I going to do when things really get bad? And there'll be that line in the sand that you know, okay, at this point I need to start doing this. These emergency plans are things that you want to think about in advance, even rehearse a little bit, so that if you are called upon to use them, they happen a little bit quicker than thinking your way through the problem. They're almost reflexive, almost automatic. So as you understand what situational awareness means, what you start to realize is, what are distractions towards my situational awareness? And I will tell you right now that the biggest distraction that you can possibly find in today's modern world is your mobile devices. If you're moving in the public sphere, my strongest recommendation is for you to put that away. Pay attention to what's happening around you. Number one, we don't want to walk into moving traffic. Number two, we want to pay attention to who might be paying attention to me. If I can see somebody that's paying a little bit more attention to me than is normal, I might need to start asking questions like why. So the one good thing that you can do is to secure your mobile device while you're out in public. Wait to answer all those text messages. Check your social media until it's an appropriate location that you feel safer in. All right, would love to hear any questions. Please feel free to post them down below. Until then, I'm Jeff Gonzalez. Take care and stay safe.